again. We know this is what we're meant to do. So we wake up, put our feet on the floor, go and conquer the day like a warrior, like warriors. Cause that's what a tribe does. We got your back so you can relax and focus on all the important stuff, like getting your business done. This is our tribe. We look out for each other. That's right, that's right. This is our tribe. We help each other grow in business and life. That's right, that's right. No need to panic anymore. We got lots of support and an army of warriors by our side. We fight the good fight when we unite. We fight the good fight when we unite. Cause that's what a tribe does. We got your back so you can relax and focus on all the important stuff, like getting your business done. This is our tribe. We look out for each other. That's right, that's right. This is our tribe. We help each other grow in business and life. That's right, that's right.
Good afternoon, evening, good morning, everybody, wherever you may be joining us from. Welcome to the Coffee Shop Conversation Show, your weekly delve into all things business and how one as an entrepreneur can get better at that malarkey. And joining us this week, it's so far a slightly smaller group than we might normally have. Perhaps it's because everyone's burnt out, which might be relevant because this week's topic is about, guess what? How you can avoid burnout and what might one need to do before the holidays, because they're coming up and you need to be fully zoned in for those, don't you? Most important time of the year. So thank you very much for joining us, everybody. And Ms. Sondra Ray, I am James Brown of James Brown Voice, your voiceover with soul. And Sondra on my left, joining us as always.
Yes, I'm Sondra Ray. I'm the owner of Get It Done Coaching, and I am your goal accountability coach who helps you reach your goals by creating bite-sized action plans. And yes, this topic has already come up in several of my other meetings this morning. Burnout before the holidays even officially get rocking and rolling. But as people are planning and as business owners, Black Friday and all the Cyber Monday and all the crazy things that people can or cannot do in their business if they choose to, and how to go about that without driving yourself completely insane and burning yourself out before things get going. So I'd love to take a room temperature. How are people today? It is Kindness Day, World Kindness Day. So how is your Monday going? Like, are we frazzled? Are we refreshed and ready to go? Mr. Brown was talking about, coming off of vacation, so he all good. So how's everybody doing today?
My Monday's been pretty good.
Yay.
Not exactly a particularly busy start to the week, which sometimes is, has helped me do a few bits of admin and contact a few more people and upload make a few more adjustments to my social media, which I have been needing to do. So I actually managed to get there. I always get a little bit worried if I'm not immediately kind of launching into work, but I finished off a couple of projects from the end of last week and have attempted to be vaguely productive. But I will say that also, coming off about a vacation, first vacation in a very long time, from about 10 days ago, and I'm still feeling all right because of that. It does make a big difference if you go away and you actually kind of relax for at least some time, rather than maybe just going what I might have done and indulge a little bit too much, a little bit too frequently, and then come back feeling like you haven't had any holiday at all and you're just knackered. But I didn't do that this time because I'm a sensible grown-up. honest.
I
So that's
love
me.
that.
How's everyone else doing?
Let's hear from Nestene and Peter. We get to see both of them today. Yay!
So that's how Peter's doing.
I didn't realize it was Monday.
I am exceptionally well, Sondra and Jade and Lesetja and Stapisu, because I get to spend an hour with you guys. Like literally, I was feeling a little bit, and also I think burnout is like it has different angles to it. So I was feeling a little bit burnt out actually today because it's just like you're an entrepreneur, you do all of this stuff, like you just keep going, you just do stuff like all the time. And then I was like, usually, like I would either work in this hour while Peter now takes the show, or I would try to do something for self-care. And then today I was just like, I miss you guys so much. I actually, you know what would be really good for me? I just need to see some friendly people, like make jokes with James, like listen to some funny voices, and then just like be here and listen. And so this is my way of combating burnout today. Like I just want to spend some time with you guys, listen, laugh, learn. I think that goes a long way, because obviously like when you get like to the burnout state, yes, there's the aspect of you just like do too much and you get like physically and mentally fatigued, right? But I think when you are already mentally and physically fatigued, if you also have no friends, I don't know why I'm laughing, but like that becomes really dark. That becomes awful. That is just so my trick is literally like I'm always physically and mentally fatigued, but I have friends, so I'm like, it's gonna be okay. I'll just spend some time with you loony people and it's gonna be fine. So that's my very insightful thing that I wanted to say.
I think from my side, burnout is a word that's used way too commonly. It's become like a common thing. You know, when is it your turn to burn out? You know, it's become this thing of everybody goes through it, they go through it often, and I don't think that should actually be the case.
I actually feel like you don't burn out often enough.
I shouldn't burn out at all. I think people are taking themselves too seriously. You know, getting to a point where they push and they push and they push and they push, and they're not necessarily surrounded by and I'm not going to say friends, because a lot of people separate friendship and business. No, I'm going to say surround yourself with people that are in a similar situation to what you are, so they know exactly what you're going through, so that you can actually share that with them. In what we've created and what we've built, we could not have done what we've done without the support and the effort of the people around us. And we've managed to achieve a whole lot more than we could achieve on our own. So my thought process is slow down, stop taking everything so seriously, actually rely on the people around you, and you might avoid the burnout for a lot longer. But when you do get to burnout, take it seriously, take the time.
Yeah.
Because you're surrounded by people that can help you through it. So, but we shouldn't be getting to that point so fast and furiously all the time. We really shouldn't. Having a conversation this afternoon with Mr. Levy, and his response to, I've got this and this and this to do, but it's a good thing that Rona's got my back with this part of what I'm doing, and Nestene's got my back with this part of what I'm doing, and this is how I'm going to do it going forward, which basically means he's got not that much to do because he's got the support of the people around him. So I think in the day-to-day life of an entrepreneur, stop burning yourself out, because it's almost self-inflicted. It's like I choose to be this island of an entrepreneur that's going to push and push and push until I fall over, and then everything falls apart. Stop being an island. You became an entrepreneur for a reason. Maybe it was the lifestyle. Enjoy the lifestyle.
If you did it for the lifestyle, joke's on you. At least for now, those first 3 to 5 years. I just quickly want to add, I'm sorry, I just had to. I'm in a very happy mood because I get to see all of you. If you're one of those people that Peter alluded to that don't mix friendship and business, I want to seriously, like, I know I'm like goofy and everything, but I want to seriously recommend that you give it a try because it is amazing. Also, it is very, very productive. Like right now, I am literally like chilling and like self-caring, and I'm spending time with like genuine people that I really do love and adore. Like they're my friends. But also, I am strategically building relationships that are going to fuel the academy that we're starting up in the background.
Correct.
At the same time, it's just like it feels like it's not business because it's so well engineered. So if you haven't mixed friendship in business in a while, then try it. I was one of those people. I was like, I was literally like, I'm still like at the office, I would be like, no, leave me alone. I just want to do my job. I'm here to do like certain thing. Like that's what I'm here to do. Like not here to make friends. Also, it gets like very iffy. But the thing is, like when you have like the best people in the world, like they're so amazing. Like I promise you, nothing is gonna go wrong if you make friends with these people. So
if you're making intelligent friends,
just make the right friends.
Right friends.
Make right friends. Very important.
Don't just go choose a friend and go, we're going into business because we're friends. Nothing can go wrong. No.
Things will go wrong. Like, don't get me wrong.
Strategically choose people that have strengths that you don't.
That's Peter and Nestene out. Now you guys talk and we laugh at you for a while.
I was like, that was the longest check-in ever. Like, okay, you two. But I love it. Yes, resources, knowing what your resources are. Who are your business friends? Who are your friends? Who are your in your communities? I was talking to somebody this morning and I was like, it's my co-working community and I lead goal setting session every Monday. And somebody was like, I can't do X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, I'm just going through your goals every week. You meet every single goal every week. Why can't you? Like, that's a mindset thing. And she's like, well, and I'm like, we'll just help you, hold you accountable. You will get the 200 pages done. She's an editor. It is a lot for a week. I get that. But every week she's crushing her goals. So I have no doubt that she can do it. But yeah, I don't think if I didn't know her, then I wouldn't be able to say, yes, you can do it because you have to know somebody. So I think that's important. Mr. L, Dr. L, we keep coming up with different names. How are you today?
The last time I asked somebody how they are, and they said to me, they can't gossip about themselves. And the answer was, I'm just fine. I'm not going to tell you how I'm doing, because if I do, then it means I'm gossiping about myself. So I'm not going to do that, which was kind of funny. So I just like using that. If you ask me how I am, I'll just say to you, I don't like gossiping about myself. But anyway, I think getting onto today's topic, before we even go to how to avoid burnout, I think for our sake, for those that don't understand what burnout is, I think we need to go a little bit back and just describe what is burnout, because some of us, I'll be stressed and I'll be thinking I'm burnt out. Where for me there is a difference. Stress and burnout cannot mean the same thing. Stress is when you've got a whole lot of things that are overwhelming you, you overcommitted. And burnout for me is when you are totally out of it. You cannot do a thing. You are disengaged. You can't do anything productive. Whereas with stress, I think you can still do something productive and progressive, but with burnout, completely and totally different. So I just wanted to bring that in so that when we go into how to avoid it, where Peter has already touched on it, Nestene, you've done it, Sondra, you also haven't, James, you also went a bit into it. We just need to understand how do I avoid this that has been explained, where instead of me waking up and looking forward to go to work, I like, can I take 2 more hours and it's 8 o'clock in the morning? You got to be in your office or at the office or at work or in a meeting at 8:30, but you still need 2 hours more because you just don't feel like doing it. And avoiding it, there's no truth in avoiding burnout than surrounding yourself with good people, with awesome people. Sometimes your family can be your what do you call it, a bouncing, what do you call it, bouncing something, bouncy bag or something. But people that understand entrepreneurship, people that understand the space that you're in, are the best people to surround yourself with. And I don't think I can ever experience that because I've got people that I can talk to. When I feel like I'm getting overloaded, I'm like I'm not productive anymore, I reach out and somebody will not directly to put me back in track, but just by engaging and talking about what I'm experiencing, they put you back on track. So for me, that's burnout and a way to avoid it. And this is Lesetja Mokou from Litmok, your business development specialist.
Thank you, Lesetja. Appreciate that. I was thinking of one thing that I've done that I was meaning to do all year, actually, which I joined a little online session of mindfulness for men, which is something that probably gets ignored by a lot of blokes, just in terms of being able to kind of slow down everything that's going on up there, especially if there is quite a lot going on. Sometimes there is. It's called Blesses. And I did a week of that. I did my first session of that last week, and that basically sort of taught you some gentle meditation techniques and just actually, even if it doesn't do much more, just kind of be able to be rather peaceful and focus on yourself for an hour actually was really helpful. And I've got a few more of those, so I'm interested to see where that goes. But I think just anything that can kind of quieten the mind down. It doesn't have to be for men, of course, just as these techniques would work for everybody. But I find that very helpful, and I've almost surprised myself with that. Nestene.
I am so proud of you, James. Well done. Please, can you get Peter to do it? Like, we should have a coffee shop show where we make Peter practice mindfulness. Wouldn't that be fun?
Apparently it's mind over matter.
Really?
Yeah, if I don't mind, it doesn't matter.
I think that's incredibly
That's not
valuable.
the spirit, Peter.
I think mindfulness is incredibly valuable because it raises that awareness, which I think is the first step. You have to be able to recognize when you're getting to that stage, which is why, like today, I was like, just join the show, whatever. If the castle falls down and the book doesn't get written and the invoices don't go out and the whatever doesn't happen, like maybe tomorrow everything will still exist. We'll just carry on with the chaos that is life tomorrow.
Well,
but that all only comes if you're aware of where you're at and how you're feeling.
It was Mr. Levy that said the other day I think it was in Referral Circle, if I'm not mistaken, where he said that he took some time off and contrary to popular belief, the world did not fall apart because he was not involved. The world still continued. And I think that's something that we need to recognize, is that we are important to the process, but we are not the be-all and end-all of the functioning of the universe. We can actually remove ourselves for a while and take stock and focus on ourselves, which is actually important, because if you don't know where you're at. You just keep pushing and you keep pushing and you keep pushing. So taking the time to take stock, and it doesn't have to take long to take stock. I mean, you can take an hour here, an hour there, but it's good to create that headspace. And the world is not going to stop because you've taken a little bit of time to focus on yourself. In fact, it's probably going to make you more productive when you get back into the swing of what it is that you're doing, because you are focused and you know exactly what the bigger picture is. And I think that's the kind of the point of stepping back. Yes, we need to recognize the signs of, are we heading to burnout? What are the signs of that? Who should we surround ourselves with? And at that point already, we should be taking a step back, not only to improve ourselves, but to take a look at the bigger picture. I mean, often I think we get stuck into the daily tasks of what it is that we're doing and achieving this on the list and that on the list and getting this done and getting that done. But we don't actually have the bigger picture. And taking the time to step back and go, well, the reason I'm doing this is so that when I do this, this happens and that happens. And then your strategy comes into play. I do this because, I do that because. Then you have purpose for doing what it is that you're doing. Some things you'll look at and go, I do this because, oh, wait a second, why do I actually do this? Is this even necessary? Why am I wasting my time doing this when this doesn't actually play a part in the bigger picture? So stepping back is essential. Take the time to do it.
Also, if you don't yet have a burnout buddy, you can't have Sondra. She's mine, but everyone else is literally up for grabs.
I'm sure Sondra can multitask.
It's actually one of her specialities.
Yep.
But it is fantastic. Like, literally, I know, when I'm getting to that stage, I have at least one person in this world that I can go to, and I just send like copious amounts of voice notes. Like, I'm not like, imagine like a voice note hurricane is what hits Sondra's feed, and it's like, Sondra, so this is what's going on. I cannot deal with this. And then that person did that, and I just can't do it anymore. And like, it's helpful. You kind of release that. Sondra gets back. She's like, the world isn't ending. You're gonna be okay. Do some coloring in. You'll be fine.
I'm guessing I'm in most of those voice notes.
Well, we have a strict non-disclosure policy.
Yeah,
so.
figures.
But also, just quickly before we move on, let's mark. Oh my God, Lesetja, I didn't know. Is that your first logo? Like, is that like the name of the business? Like, what is that? What's Litmark? I've never seen it. It's so cool.
You missed a lot of meetings, so. And I don't know if I should go back to, we have a strict non-disclosure policy or not. Yes, it is the official logo, the official name, LITMOK. So yeah, and honestly, I think I mentioned it when people started seeing it, that I'm proud to be part of the tribe, because if it wasn't because of the tribe, this behind me wouldn't be there. So it's an achievement. It's an achievement. And you know what? I don't stress about anything. I know I made promises to a whole lot of people that I'll get the business running by the end of the year and all that, but I'm chilled about it. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I'm not going to kill myself because it didn't happen. So yeah, and I think I just wanted to add to what you and Peter were saying about burnout, to say, look, there are causes of burnout, and I think it's what we need to look out for. Some people work too much. They don't give themselves time to rest, and that leads to burnout. Just like we were saying, Peter, you were mentioning an example from Mr. Levy, that he took a step back and he realized, the world didn't fall apart. Without me, the world is still there. So, don't push yourself too much. to achieve things that you pressurize yourself to achieve things that you could take a bit of time to achieve them. And the other which relates to what we are saying, the other cause of burnout is lack of close relationships or supportive relationships. That is also another cause of burnout. And the other one is where, you know, the whole tribe is expecting you to do things for them, Sondra, and you just accept them without saying no. When Nestene calls you, you say, yes, I'll do, you know, without saying no. So taking a lot of responsibilities when you only have so many hours a day can also lead to burnout. And then the other one, it's not work related, but it's as what they call a personality trait, where you are what do they call it? The type A personality. You are this person that wants things to happen this way and no other way. And when we come in joking around about things, you are so serious that you're like, you want to even, can I say it in Afrikaans? You want to even fluke. You want to even swear, James, because and Sondra, because we take it easy, and you are like, I want this to happen this way, and if it doesn't happen that way, you get overstressed, and you tend to then give up and say, well, these people are just useless. I can't do anything with these people. So that also can lead to burnout. And I'm out.
That is true. I think expectations, not only for yourself, but for others, is extremely important. We started the homeschooling journey last week, and her expectation, my expectations are not matching. And the whole process of homeschooling was to slow down, to focus on our physical and mental health. And even today, she's like, well, I can't get everything done this week. I'm like, that's your expectation, not my expectation. My expectation is for you to continuously work on school, not complete 5 chapters in every single subject, because that was the whole reason, was to slow down. She is the personality where you do that. I do have the caretaker personality. I know that, and I do have to guard that. You're right. I have a tendency to say yes way too quickly. So really making sure that it fits into the plan, which is also why I'm very big on quarterly reviews, doing a 3-month review. So you do know, is your why still the same? Like Peter said, do you know your resources? You know, maybe you haven't talked to somebody in 3 months, you know, and that was your bestie 3 months ago. Life happens, you know, things go different ways. So reassessing who is in your communities, who is your coach, what are your goals, what is your why, not only professionally, but personally too, because I think taking that time to do that is extremely important, because yeah, we get caught up in the go, 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 go. And if we don't take that step back, which is why I love the quarterly review, is because it makes you pause, you know, and I set it up for a 2-hour window, and it's like, okay, I can pause and do this, and have a method and everything for it. So it flows pretty quickly. And I have a lot of people that realize that, you know, hey, something that was working 3 months ago is not making me any money now. So why am I still doing that? You know, or this community isn't working for me anymore. I need to find a different one. Same with coaches. I'm like, review your coaches, review your accountability partners, because again, people's lives change, people's lives happen. You know, if you'd asked me last month, I would have told you I wasn't taking anybody on due to circumstances in my life. This month, I'm looking for clients. So, you know, it definitely happens very much. And it is important to, like Peter said, take a minute, take a pause, and be like, what the heck? Like, what am I doing? What am I not doing? What's working and what's not working? I also love, I have a board on my wall, and it's my motivation board. So it has the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing. So it has my family on there, has health goals on there, has things on there. And I did a workshop for that a couple of months ago. And it was very interesting to see what people put on their motivation board. And maybe it's a quote, maybe it's a mindfulness practice. You gotta do what works for you. Peter is not going to go meditate. That is just not Peter's jam. And that is fine. We have to find what works for Peter. Nestene can do Nestene. Peter can do Peter. And there's nothing wrong with that. And Nestene's like, to stop taking his side, but and you do things together too, but you know, whatever fills your cup is your cup. My cup is not the same as Nestene's. My cup is not the same as James. My cup's not the same as my husband. You know, he loves to have, you know, loud music and loud things, and I like my peace and quiet. So we have a time and place for that. So definitely love that. Love that. And I love everybody's input. Nestene, go ahead, my dear.
How did you know it was me? Like, maybe it's Peter.
I can read Peter. I've gotten really good at reading Peter now, and no, that's all you.
Thank you, Sondra. You are amazing at this. Yeah, so Lesetja, I'm so happy about your logo. Like, I'm like overjoyed. Like, we've come such a long way. So I'm like, I feel like I should have tuned in tonight just so that I could see that. So well done. I'm so proud of you, and I know it's going to be amazingly successful. It will happen when it needs to happen. It will. So yeah, so what I wanted to say again, like I feel like I get to say a lot about this topic because I am the person that Lesetja described. It's like, you know, those people that are always so serious and always working and they don't like to talk to anyone else and they're like just one-minded and they just want to get their things done the way that they want it done. Like, that is technically me until Peter found me and helped me. And he was like, but we could also do other things.
Let me just interject for 1 second. When I first met Nestene was working 18 hours a day. She was working a job to pay her employees for her entrepreneurial venture. Her employees were taking a free bus ride, and half doing the work that Nestene would then have to do the work. So she would go to work to earn the money to pay the staff to get home to do the work that the staff were meant to be doing.
It was a nightmare.
And my very first introduction into that space was I was asked to come in and just to see what was going on in the business. Yeah, I shut it down real quick, like real quick. Life's too precious to be wasting working 18-hour days to push to have people around you taking advantage. I mean, just as it is beneficial to surround yourself with the right people, it is as damaging to surround yourself with the wrong people. So the existence of the tribe was basically born out of,
we need the right people.
How do you surround yourself with the right people?
Because we needed to scale the business.
So the tribe itself was actually a solution to burnout, which is, and it seems to be doing the trick. You haven't burnt out much lately, have you? Not much.
I'm very happy now. I feel like I'm very supported. I know all the right people. Like, if I feel like I need to talk to people, like I could just pitch up and like, there's like 3 of them right there. And they have to sit and listen to me for at least an hour. They can't go anywhere. This is fantastic. Thank you so much for giving me friends that can't go away. But what I wanted to say was something that I think that yeah. So I come from that atypical whatever personality, which sometimes also helps. It has its strengths, but then it's really easy to get burnt out. Now, what you're going to notice if you are that personality is when you get very like productive and you've been too productive for too long a time, the first signs are going to be you're going to get slightly frustrated and irritable. And it's going to be like slight. So you're going to feel justified, and you're going to look for things in your environment that backs up why you are there. You have a very, very valid reasons. And probably you do have valid reasons to feel that way, but your emotional response is going to be there. When that happens, literally, if you just keep going, what will happen is you'll get more frustrated, you'll get more irritable, you'll start isolating yourself. And if you like keep on that path, maybe you'll destroy some relationships. Maybe like that is where that's the danger zone for me with burnout. When you get into that zone, and you're not even gonna notice all the damage that you do because you're like so fatigued, you're so burnt out, and that's why your emotions are so intense. So for me, it comes back to that awareness that James is going to teach Peter.
You mean this is? I'm in Cape Town.
Live
it's
on
not,
air.
It's not awareness. It's awareness. This is Cape Town.
We need to teach James how to say that in a cool Cape Town voice.
Oh.
So yeah, I can't say that like Peter does, but James is going to say it. I can see it.
I can only do like my particularly. This is my South African. I don't know if it's actually any kind of close at all, but it might just be my sort of standard. It sounds a little bit like the stereotypes that I hear when is our rugby coach is being interviewed mainly. Like just about like that. But I don't know if that's from the region or if it's just anywhere close at all.
Now, James, say awareness.
Awareness.
You're close, but it's still like it's not actually a word. Like forget about the structure of the word.
So just for history, aware it's not in any form of language. It's like high, and so here when people walk past each other and somebody we tell me like, oh, aware, that's it, aware. So I refer to awareness as awareness. It's
what?
Yeah, it's just one of those things. It's part of the culture.
So forget about the structure of awareness and like awareness.
Oh, am I still doing this? Oh, okay. So James does funny accents over the. This will prevent everyone from bloody it. Awareness? Am I going up there? I don't know. I might be up there now, somewhere on top of a mountain.
Oh, we have just improved your skills, hey.
What?
You're welcome. I can tell that to some client.
I think you should become a rugby coach.
Oh yeah, mate. Take over from bloody Steve Borthwick. Actually, you did all right in the end.
Oh, you guys are hilarious. Yeah, so that's what I was saying. I think. Did I say what I said I was gonna?
I think you said what you were saying.
Okay.
You did say what you were saying, Nestene.
Thank you. Yeah, when you get irritated, go the other way. Like make jokes like this, basically, and then you'll feel better, and you won't go to disaster burnout zone. You'll just be where I live, basically, like 60 to 70% burnout, but you know, it's like I all day. Don't go to 80 to 90.
Yeah, I think that's part of not taking ourselves too seriously. I don't think it matters what personality type you are. I mean, obviously you have to take that into consideration. But if we don't take ourselves too seriously, we know that we're going to get done what we need to get done. We need to measure the people around us and figure out how we're going to use those relationships to get those things done that we need to get done. But the moment we internalize and it all just falls on just our shoulders and we're doing this journey all on our own, burnout is literally just around the corner.
I think that sounds pretty right. Yeah, there are many different coping mechanisms, aren't there? If you have people to fall back on, if you have your goals up there, I find you always think I feel guilty about if there's parts of the day where I haven't perhaps planned well enough. This is the thing that I find myself, okay, well, I've done morning's work and now I actually haven't planned anything for the afternoon, but there's stuff to do. God, there's stuff to do. If I might take off and go and have an extra half an hour for lunch or something, or do something else, I start to feel guilty. So then sometimes I fill that with busy work, which is maybe not very necessary. I'm sure that actually a properly organized day, I bet that makes a lot of difference. And I say I bet because I know I still haven't got one as well as I should do. Because it's, you know, the big organizer needs to be properly filled out on a weekend. And I think that I'm sure that must make a difference to people who are properly scheduled.
On that.
Say it again.
I think I'd like to hear Sondra's opinion on that.
Okay, so here's my opinion. Time blocking and scheduling your day out works, one, if you believe in it. So if you don't believe in it, then you're not going to do it. Two, I actually do not like a super scheduled day because I want buffers. I want flexibility. That's why I'm a business owner. If I wanted a 9 to 5, I'll go work for somebody else. So my schedule is my schedule. And yeah, it depends on if you're scheduling busy work or are you scheduling things that are going to be productive. I'm very big on pick 3. Pick 3 things that you need to accomplish in the day to move the needle. Everything else is gravy, and whatever else you get done, you get done. So I'm not one to super organize and super schedule things. If depending on your personality type, I do have people that they need that. They need that structure. They need, I work on this project this hour, I work on this project the next hour. And that works great for them. And then I have, yeah, it really depends on.
You say that person. I get stuff done, but I wonder if, I often wonder if am I being as efficient as I can be? Am I being as efficient as I could be? Am I doing the right type of work? Is there picking a particular task? Like I need to reach out to, let's say 20 people today. I have to do that. But what I also have to do is make sure that my LinkedIn profile is properly updated. I also have to put in 20 auditions that I've got on a new site, so I can then go and get more auditions. And along with that, I have to keep an eye on my actual, the actual voiceovers I've got to do for me. And sometimes those things that, like for instance, ensuring branding consistency across various social medias or creating content doesn't get done. And I think would that have got done if I had scheduled that more effectively, rather than just kind of saying, right, well, I'll get to that, and then I don't get to it.
Right. Working in your business and on your business does have to be scheduled. Otherwise, you'll stay working on it or in it and not go back and forth. So I do have a lot of people to schedule like admin time 3 times a week. So, working on LinkedIn or social media time or things like that. So having those blocks in your week can give you that assurance of, I'm going to work in my business and on my business. So I'm going to do my client work. I'm going to go work on social media or whatever. And I think it also depends on how much client work you have. Like if your business is full, then you're not so much worried about working on your business. You still need to, because that pipeline can dry up. But yeah, it really is a balancing act, but it's also knowing your resources. So if you can find somebody to do one of those admin tasks that you don't need to do, then, use that. And I am very big on being creative on your resources. Resources doesn't mean that you're necessarily paying for it. Paying is great. I'm all for it. But there's other ways, interns, barters, energy exchange. There's so many different ways you can get people to help you in your business without spending thousands and thousands of dollars. There's a time and place to pay for somebody, and I'm all for that. But that's how I started mine. I was an intern. That's how I started my business. I was an intern. That's how I learned, was an intern. And there's many, many people that would be willing to help. I have interns right now. So I did pay for them, but it was a lower amount because they're interns and they're brand new. Yeah. So yeah, there's definitely different ways. So yes, scheduling both is important. Like you said, I think we had talked about that a week or two ago where you said, oh, I went and did some social media planning, like you were mapping some things out. So I think having a plan is the biggest thing. So making sure you can get that done. But Mr. L has been patiently waiting.
We should shut up.
Jump in here.
I definitely didn't say that, Sondra. I just wanted to say I agree with Sondra on scheduling. You don't have to be super strict with how you schedule your day. You cannot put your work into super steel blocks or concrete blocks to say, if I'm 1 minute over what I was supposed to do, then you get stressed out because you didn't finish that. So being a little bit relaxed about it, for me, works. As long as you get it done with Sondra, as long as you get it done, it's all okay. I look at artists, for instance, or sports people. Peter will tell you train for so long, and there are times where you just need to relax and take a break. Now, you want to reach a certain level of fitness, but you don't train throughout the day because you push yourself to that level of fitness. Where did I read? Usain Bolt trained for 4 years to be able to run sub 9 seconds in 100 meters. It took him longer. He had lots of breaks in between. He structured his days, but he had time for people as well. He had time for family as well. And as we are saying, if you've got support, if you've got people that can help you with other tasks, why do you have to get stressed when you are a minute over a task that you're doing? It shouldn't be like that. Be flexible. How do they call it? Be rigidly flexible. Be rigid with your planning, but be flexible about it as well. So that's just what I wanted to add.
I love that. I have a lot. Well, he's still my life coach. But yeah, he calls it the flex schedule, having a flex schedule and a permanent schedule, and being known which way you have to go. Especially as somebody that wears many hats, wife, mom, business owner, and so on and so forth. I cannot always predict what's going to happen in a day or who's going to have motherly needs and things like that. So, but then there also is times where I'm like, okay, I'm not available. Like I'm the business person right now. I'm not mom mode. So you have to wait until, and I use, it's a stop sign, and I literally can write, I'm available after this time. Like if it's truly emergency, then, you can talk to me or whatever. But I've put that in place a couple of different times, because I am out in the open in my dining room. So I don't have a lot of privacy. So I have to make sure that people understand, hey, I'm really not available right now. And unless unless the house is on fire, then you can wait. If you're not bleeding, I don't know that mom thing. If it's not on fire, if you don't need to go to the ER, then it's really not an emergency. Your emergency is not my emergency. I think it's extremely important. I also think knowing when you're creative. If you're creative at 6 in the morning, then that's when you should be doing your creative stuff. If you're creative at 5 in the afternoon, that's when you should be using that creative time. So knowing when, you're all, I don't know, mathematical and admin, schedule that during that time, maybe you got to do that brain power stuff at the first part of the day. If you ask me to do math at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm going to tell you to go away. And I don't do creativity things in late afternoon. Like I'm done. Like I want to wrap up my day. I want to like get tasks done, but I'm not going to be creative during that time. I'm not going to do something extremely tedious because that's my energy level's low. So knowing when you have that time, if you're creative at 1 in the morning, figure out a schedule that works for you to be creative at 1 in the morning. I always tell people, like, our timeline and your timeline don't have to be the same. I know somebody co-working community, she works best from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. before the whole family gets up. So she gets up and that's when she does her business. And I'm like, go you, not my plan, but you go. Not an early morning person. So really knowing yourself, I think, is where I'm getting with that, is knowing yourself and knowing what works and what works for your house. If your house is quiet from 5 to 7, so be it. That's what works for her. She has littles. That makes sense. That's get up before the craziness of the house starts. I understand that fully. And rock with it. And same way, I used to block my Thursdays and then have meetings on Fridays. And my amazing teenager was like, Mom, that's backwards. Have your meetings on Thursday and block your Friday so you can wrap up your week and you're not stressed. Because I was like, I have so much to do and it's Friday, but I have like 5 meetings. And she's like, why, Mom? Why would you have meetings on Friday? Like, so now I'm very selective on who I talk to on Fridays for meetings. Peter is one of the exceptions. I will meet with him on Fridays. But I blocked my Fridays and flipped it because it makes more sense. She was right. I'm saying that live on YouTube. Now she'll have to go watch it to hear it. But yeah, it made sense. Like why have, I know a lot of people, and I do know people that do 4-day weeks, and Friday is their free day, whether they choose to work or not. Again, what works for them. And I know people that work on Sundays because, that's what works for their schedule. I think Peter's going to talk. He's like trying to nudge Nestene out. I see it. Go, Peter.
Thank you. I'll make up something. Don't worry.
I want to actually say something.
Well, you're going to put me on the spot. That's absolutely fine.
Did it?
Go ahead.
Thank you. Okay, James, I'm about to change your life. Okay, I have the ultimate amount of entrepreneurial guilt. I promise you, I'm going to change your life right now. Like that scenario, what you described, like I was obsessed for years with finding the perfect planning system that was flexible enough, but rigid enough that I never had to think about, but that I could actually think about what I want. It was just like I was obsessed with it. And I finally found it. That's the good news. And like I listened to this person talk about this and he changed my life. So very quick rundown. It's an Excel sheet. I know, just deal with it, okay? It's an Excel sheet. Then at the top, what you do is you literally type in, so you have 3 sections on the sheet. At the top, you type in everything that you think of randomly during the day that's like, this is something that I need to do. You just type it in there. Then you have a second section in the sheet. This is what I'm going to do today. Now, every day when you start your day by opening up this Excel sheet. And you quickly have a look through the tasks that are on there. Now, the rules for those tasks, and this is what you're not going to expect this coming. This was like life-changing for me. Okay, never do today what you can put off till tomorrow. Never do yourself what someone else can do for you. That's the first rule. So you go through that list, you're like, is there anything in here that I could delegate, that I could make a deal that I like really don't want to do that someone else could do? Get rid of those. Is there anything in here that I could literally like leave for like tomorrow, for a week? You know, no one's going to die if I don't do it. Leave those alone. And then what you do is you take between 1 and 3 of the tasks that aren't any of those ones. And those will be the tasks that give you the highest payoff. There will be ones that have maybe the tightest deadlines. You take from those, you put them on your to-do list. But that to-do list, it never has more than 3 things on it. Because it needs to be like super doable. You do the things on those lists, then comes section number 3 in the sheet. So once you've done them, you move them to section number 3. This gives you like an instant, it's like someone's giving you an ice cream. It's like, oh my God, I am so productive. I just did that. And it's on the sheet and it's documented. So you move it in there. And then like what happens is like you just feel awesome about yourself all the time. If you do all of this stuff and you still have work time over, it's so easy. You don't have to obsess about what is the most productive thing to do next. Should I go and take some time off? Should I not take some time off? You've already done your stuff. So if you're tired at this point, go away. It's going to be more productive for you to recuperate. But if you have some fuel left in the tank, you can literally just so quickly pick something else, not like a major thing that's like a day thing. Pick something else from your list, add it there, and you're like super productive. It's so quick. It's just like that system was life-changing for me.
Yeah, no shit.
So please go and try it out. I promise you. It's like the most flexible, but organized, but also chaotic. It just like it works for entrepreneurs. Like I really love it. So that's my contribution.
Flexible, organized, and chaotic. Yeah. That sounds about right. This is life, right? Thank you, Nestene. I'm going to replay that last bit so I can actually take proper notes and have a look again. And we're at the top of the hour, everybody. I think we need to call it a night. We've gone off a little bit of but I think it was a useful hour, wasn't it? In terms of a few different things that we covered as well. It doesn't always have to be completely strict, does it? So thank you everybody for joining us. It's a pleasure as always. And I've been James of jamesbrownvoice.com, your voiceover with soul. And signing off from me and from Sondra.
I'm Sondra Ray. I'm your Get It Done coaching goal accountability coach. I also want to make sure we do a shout out to Susan, who not only writes the descriptions of our show, but she does the timestamps. She turns our show into a podcast. So make sure you are following us on Spotify. Make sure you like and share the show because we want to make sure we reach all corners of the world. And Nestene, you have to do our sign off because you're here. So I'm not going to say as Nestene, but you get to do it.
May all your wildest entrepreneurial dreams come true.
See you all next time.